Hello.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How has your week been?
Yeah, it's been good actually. I've noticed like really small changes in Mabel as well, which has been quite nice.
Good. What have you noticed?
Um, they're little tiny things. So round where my other half lives, he lives in like a tiny little village. You'll see a car like every 15 minutes or so. Um, and she was kind of fine walking around there anyway, but she'd never sniff or anything. And I've been practicing her training more there at the moment rather than where I am.
Mhm.
And she started like stopping to sniff, which she like never did. Like probably 4 times in the walk, in like a 15-minute walk, she'd sniff about 4 times, which obviously for a normal dog, that's normal. But she, yeah, no, that's really good. And she's traveling a little bit better in the car as well.
Okay.
She like looks at me and just watches me, where before she would kind of pace in the footwell round and round in circles, and now she's kind of sitting and looking at me, and then yeah, she's barely paces now, so that's good. And yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, good stuff. So on your walks, when she's sniffing, what's she sniffing? Is she just sniffing random things? Is there anything else happening when she sniffs?
Just the grass really, like on the side of the road, but she gets really into it. Like she finds the sniff and then she needs to sniff it for about 2 minutes before she can move on, which obviously she was never ever doing. She'd literally just walk the walk to get the walk over and done with.
Yeah.
And when she's doing that, her tail's up. There's no cars around.
Okay.
Um, though the other night a car passed us, but I reckon it was about 10 meters away from us.
Good.
So it was a little way, but it didn't bother her at all, which was good.
That's significant improvement. Okay. Okay. So yeah, those small steps. So we're not expecting a switch to be flicked and she's going to be absolutely fine. But a sniffing on a walk indicates that she's a little calmer.
Hmm.
That the reason I asked if there was anything else going on is because when they sniff on a walk, they're either sniffing just because they're enjoying it, or they're sniffing for a purpose. Now, if they're sniffing for a purpose in terms of a car's just come into view and then they put their nose to the floor, or another dog's come into view and then they put their nose to the floor, it can be a bit of I don't want to engage with you, so I'm just going to pretend that I'm sniffing the floor. But if she's just sniffing and she looks nice and happy while she's sniffing and she's quite relaxed with it, then that's a really positive sign. Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
were the only people about. Like there was no one there, no other dogs, no cars. So
yeah,
yeah.
good. Yeah, and so we've got to the point that is she still sleeping all the way through?
She did until one night out of this week, but all the other nights she slept straight through.
Okay, so that will probably be helping as well because she's having a full length of sleep rather than an upturned a bit like us. So if we're constantly kind of awake and awake asleep, it's not good for us. So that's probably contributing a little bit to her behaviour as well.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it sounds like you're doing a good job. Sounds like you're doing a really good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I'm pleased. I tried walking her once one evening here at mine where it's obviously busier, and I was meant to send you a video and I didn't send it to you. I'll send it to you after or something. And she just basically, I did the thing where I put her lead on and edged her to the door with the treats, and it went really well. And I opened the door and I sat on the stairs and just had the door open, and
Hmm.
she was taking the treats off the doorstep. And then I tried to go out for a walk with her, and she got outside and panicked and just wanted to go back inside.
Okay. Okay.
So from then I just thought, well, I'll stop it here and try and do it where it's quieter.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And what's she like when she leaves partner's house? Will she just walk out of the house there?
Yeah, she just walks out. I don't think she like really. She doesn't really do it. She just walks like a normal kind of happy dog. On the odd occasion, she might try, and she has this thing where she'll start walking and then she'll kind of divert around and try to pull to go back in.
Okay.
She
Okay.
might do
Yeah.
that on the odd occasion, but she's pretty good there, I'd say.
Okay. And how's the playing the sounds been going?
Yeah, that's gone quite well. So I think it was on Sunday, I went to my mum's, and whilst we were eating lunch, we put traffic noise on,
Mhm.
and she was more interested in what we were eating than the noise. Her tail was up, and then it went slightly down. I reckon we must have got to volume. This is on the TV.
Mm.
So my mum would normally watch TV on like volume 10, she said. We got it to about volume 11, 12, and then the tail started going down.
Okay.
So then we stopped it. But I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, yeah. And it's all about what experience she's having when that's going off around her as well. So, if you're just eating your dinner and listening to traffic,
Yeah.
I mean, the things that we do for our dogs, um, literally, making them more at ease with the sounds. And ultimately, it is going to be the sounds to start with before those visuals. So when she's seeing a car, obviously it's a big thing for her because she's like, this is really scary. It probably takes her straight back to the time with the incident that happened. And she's a little bit worried about it. So what we're doing is literally just building her confidence up really slowly, but in a nice way that she's not too worried about it either.
Hmm.
Okay. So have you got any questions from like this kind of last session or the session before? Anything that you wanted to ask, or are you quite happy to carry on?
I think when she hears your voice, she relates you to treats, because I got her ham out as well. She keeps pouring me questions. I think the only thing is when I do try and take her out here, and she does panic outside, am I best bringing her back inside? And so I brought her back inside, and then I tried it 5 minutes later, and she still wasn't interested. But we walked about 2 minutes up the street, and then she just was like, there were a few cars parked up, but still on with their lights on. So she just wanted to come back. So we just come back. We didn't force her to do it. And is that the right thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about yourself, if you ever get worked up about anything, then even if you're taken away from that situation, so imagine something really upsets you, and then you're out of that situation, but you're still kind of like a bit upset about it. So your adrenaline's probably still pumping a little bit. And if you were to go straight back into that situation, you're likely to get upset a lot faster than what you did the first time. And it's the same for our dog. So every time she's going outside the front of the house and she's like, this is too much for me. And she's like, right, I want to go back inside. So you come back inside with her. And then when you try and go again with her, literally keeping your walk as short as you possibly can. So it might be that you go back out and then have 10 steps and then come back in with her. And then try again after, 5-10 minutes. Wait until that body language is really relaxed down. She's ever so cute, her little ears just sticking
Yeah.
out. And it's about having that nice, easy like transition from the house to outside, and letting her know that it's okay and it's fine. If she gets a bit stressed, that's fine. She can do something with you to indicate that she's not happy. And I think you are able to read her very well in terms of, when she's unhappy, when she's really not enjoying the walk, and just call it. Just call it and come back home, because every time she's put into that position, she then learns, oh, I'm in this place, there's scary cars, there's scary sounds, and I need to go home. And if every time we go out, she's just repeating that same cycle, so she gets really scared, she gets more scared, and then comes home, then just breaking that cycle down a bit. So let her leave the house, have a few seconds outside, come back in again. So it's kind of oh, we didn't go anywhere. We just went outside and it was a really, really nice walk. So we went out and we had a few steps, 10 steps, might be your walk, and then come back in again. So that your walk is kind of literally leaving the house, coming back in. I know last time we spoke about getting to the front door, because it's evident that there's obviously some association between the collar, the lead and the front door, where she was a bit reluctant to actually walk with you. But yeah, I would take it really, really slow. So take it, when you think you're going slow enough, go slower.
Okay.
Okay, so literally go down to steps rather than time, because if we go 30 seconds a minute, then actually she could have got really stressed in that time. So go for steps. So go for like 10 steps, 20 steps, 30 steps, and add the steps up. And then you'll be able to see at what kind of level she is getting a bit anxious and when you need to be coming home. So I would look at coming home before she gets kind of upset and anxious, even
Yeah.
if that is like literally a couple of seconds up your road. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, in terms of your walking, so when she has been walking, I'm dead chuffed that she's been sniffing on a walk, to be honest. I'm like, yes, that's a good step. That's a really good positive. How has she been on the lead?
Yeah, she's been actually quite good. She's not tugged at all. Where actually when I do walk where my partner lives, it's we walk normally we go around a loop, and when she kind of knows we're halfway back, she'll start tugging a bit. But she hasn't really been doing that. It's more like the loose lead kind of walking. Um, and then yeah, just stopping to have a sniff. So I feel
Okay.
like she's a lot more relaxed there.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And obviously in the car as well, that's a big improvement to where we were talking about before. Have you noticed that she's sort of looking at you a bit more, that she's a bit more interested in looking at you before something is happening, or is she not interested in you?
She's definitely more like obedient in the fact that she come running up to me if she's in the house, or a lot of the time I'm literally sat here all day on uni, or but yeah, basically I sit here all day, and she'll come up to me and she looks at me a lot. And I have been saying yes when she looks at me, but
Hmm.
not obviously giving her a treat a lot of the
Hmm.
time. And then she goes off and does her thing. I have noticed, and I don't know if this is just me overthinking, but she's basically started. I feed her at 6 o'clock normally, and at about 4 o'clock, she goes and sits by her food cupboard. Um, and then she'll come running through here, and she goes running back in the kitchen. And normally when she paces, she normally needs to go outside, so I get up to go let her outside, and she just runs straight to her food cupboard. I don't know if that's because she's expecting a treat or something at the moment, um but yeah.
It may just be that she's like, is it dinner time yet? Is it time for dinner yet? When it does get to 6 o'clock, does she normally sit in front of the food cupboard?
Yeah, like all
Yeah,
the time. She
yeah,
knows the time really
yeah.
well.
She knows what's in there. She knows that some dinner's going to come out at some point if she sits there. And it might be that if she sits there long enough, eventually you will come to her and eventually you'll give her a dinner. So it may just be that she might be a little bit peckish. Might be that, around 4 o'clock, it might be that you do a little bit of training with her. So she's got a little bit of something
Hmm.
just to occupy her. Yeah, they are super smart. My dog, she rings a bell to go outside to go to the toilet. And
Oh
she's
God.
figured out that if she rings the bell, then she can ring the bell for anything and everything. So I think it was yesterday morning. She'd been outside already, and I was upstairs getting ready, and I heard the bell ring, and I thought, she doesn't need to go to the toilet. I went downstairs, and she literally sat in front of a food bowl, looking at me,
That's
looking
so
at the
funny.
cupboard, looking at me, looking at the cupboard, looking at me. And I thought, you absolute little monkey, you've just rang that bell. You don't need to go out. You just rang it because you want to tell me that you're hungry. Um, so yeah, they are really smart, and they kind of pick up on our routine as well. So obviously if you feeding at the same time every day, then that's why that she's then like, yeah, I think it must be about food time now. I'm getting a bit hungry. I'm just going to go and sit there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. There's not really a lot I can do about that, I'm afraid.
that's fine. I just thought it was funny because I couldn't work out why all of a sudden she started doing it. But it also, I normally book in her training sessions about 4ish, so it might be something to do with that. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she's thinking, is it time to start training yet? Have you been training every day with her?
I'd say every second day,
Okay.
and then every day I say yes to her when she looks at me, but with actual treats, probably every second day. But
Okay.
when we go out for a walk, that's every day. But I sometimes don't always take the treats because that's the other thing. She's not quite happy yet taking a treat
Okay.
when we're outside in like the quiet areas.
Okay.
But she will, when she's walking now, she will, if I call her name, instead of ignoring me, she turns back and looks at me. This is without any cars around,
Yeah.
obviously, but yeah, she'll turn around, look at me, and then I say yes, but she doesn't want the treat. But I
Okay.
feel like that's halfway there.
Yeah, absolutely. So when, like I say, we're not looking for massive, massive like changes, because what will happen is these tiny little changes all then end up being that big one. So they all kind of condense as it gets to where you're wanting it to be. So before long, there will be other things that are going off, and you'll be able to call a name, and she'll be able to look at you because she'll be trusting that there isn't anything there, because she'll be trusting you're calling her for a reason.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so something you could play when you're out with her is when she's sniffing the grass, when she's happy and she's relaxing and sniffing the grass, just drop a treat into the grass for her.
Hmm.
And then as she gets it, just say, find it. And then you can start encouraging that game. So I would always take your treats out with you while she's training, just so that there is something there. And if she doesn't want to take it, then that's fine. But if she's relaxed enough to be sniffing, she's relaxed enough to potentially be eating, I would say.
Hmm.
And then you can do some live training with her there. So then what you can start doing with her is playing find it as a way to get her walking, to get her attention on the floor, to get her attention on something else rather than the traffic. Okay.
Yeah.
Has she had any incidents over the last kind of week or so where she's actually lunged at any cars?
Only the night I tried to take her out here, basically there's a co-op. I got a video of it as well. When there's a co-op, probably a 5-minute walk down the road, not even that. And there was 2 cars parked out there with their lights on. Um, and then as one started its engine up again, she did the lunging thing. And at that point, she turned around and she was like almost laying on the ground because she was tugging so hard. And I just picked her up then and carried her back home.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's the only incident. We've had cars pass very rarely, but it has happened when we've been walking her in the
Mhm.
quiet bit. But she's not lunged at them. She's just like stopped and watched them go past.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. And what was your response to her just stopping and watching them go past?
I think like I try and call her and do the yes thing.
Mhm.
Um, but if the car's passing, she won't look at me.
Yeah.
She has to watch the car. And then afterwards, I just say good girl and walk on. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be saying that she's good for watching the car. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if I'm confusing her, as in, am I saying good girl as in good girl, you should be scared of this car, or
No, what you're doing is you're saying to her it's okay. She's doing exactly the right thing by standing still. So she's not lunging towards it. She's having a look. And are you when she is stopping and staring, are you able to stand in front of her?
sometimes, yeah, like yeah, because actually the road, then most normally the road has a bit of grass next to it that I could do that
Yeah.
with. So it's just that try and put her behind my legs almost.
Yeah, just to block that view. So when a dog lunges, what they're doing is so they focus on it. So if you imagine like you see it on like James Bond films, you know where they have this circle of the shooter that's just they're going to shoot the gun and they put the target on somebody. So
Yeah.
when our dogs focus on something, that's their target. So in Mabel's case, it's the car. So she sees the car and she follows the car, and then at some point during that, she'll then lunge. Okay, because she's like, yeah, I'm just going to get this car. I can get it. I can do it. And that's when you're seeing that lunging. So if she's at the point where she's able to stand still, then that's brilliant. Just get her to stand still. If you can stand in front of her, that's better because you're blocking her view. So if she can't target onto it because you're in front of her, then she can't then lunge, or she won't then lunge because she can't see it
Yeah.
to kind of repeat that behavior. So that's something I would work on with her. So playing the game Find It, we're gonna have a quick game of Find It anyway, so we can show you how to do that one. And they hand touching, how did that go?
That works perfectly in the house. she's not really too interested when we're outside. I've tried it when a car has passed, but she's not interested.
So probably too much at the minute for her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a good one to use. So when you're just talking about her standing still and the car goes past, so you're standing in front of her. As soon as that car is going past and she's not making any movement, yes, good girl. Really make a fuss of her, and then hopefully she'll then be snapping out of it and kind of a bit more with you, and then you can do a hand touch with her at that point. Touch.
Okay.
And then she can have a reward if she wants the reward. If she doesn't want the reward, then that's fine. You can still just verbally praise her. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy with that bit?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a piece of paper because I haven't got anything to write on.
Okay.
Okay.
So when we're looking for her being calm and collected, that's what we're looking for. So just standing still is good enough. So when they're standing still, their brains are deciding whether they're going into fight mode or going into flight mode. Okay. So what we're going to do to start with is just a game of find it. And then we're going to look at walking, but we're going to be looking at changing your direction with the walking as well, so that you've kind of got a lot more control over that walk than you currently may have. Okay.
Yeah.
So find it. Have you been playing the game outside where you throw the treat at all?
No, as far as I've got with throwing the treat outside, is having her on the lead and putting the treat on the doorstep and making her go outside onto the doorstep to get the treat. Yeah. But I haven't done it outside where just throwing it at all.
Okay, so the grass area where she was sniffing, that's a good place to play it there as well.
Okay.
So yeah. Just literally left and right, and all you're doing is just going to stand there. You're going to stand there, throw some treats around. Near the co-op, what you're talking about down your road, is there a bench outside that at all?
There is kind of. So you've got the co-op, and then you can go slightly up, and there's a bus shelter, and that's actually on a junction, a T-junction, so it gets quite busy around there. Okay.
Is there anywhere that's a little bit quieter, maybe not on a T-junction? Anywhere that you could go and sit with her?
Yeah, there is actually. There's one right opposite my house. That's on the High Street Road. Or there's a marketplace actually, which has cars go up there because people go up there and park there, and there's a bench up there. That might be better. Yeah,
so somewhere that's nice and quiet, that's not, there's not too much going off. And what we want to do is really, really get her interested in the treats that you've got. So if it's at dinner time, so if it's at 6 o'clock, then go and do a training at 6 o'clock. So she's hungry, she's going to eat some food. And if you want to take her food with you, then take that with you as well.
Okay.
Go and sit somewhere that's relatively quiet, but there's still stuff going on. Get her sat next to you. So you're sitting on the bench, she's going to be sitting next to you, and just literally sit there and feed her. Yes, feed her. Yes, feed her. Yes, feed her. So what you're doing is you're rewarding any quiet, calm behavior.
Okay.
So there doesn't have to be a car going past, there doesn't have to be people, there doesn't have to be anything happening, as long as she's calm.
Yeah.
And if she's looking at you, then that's a bonus. Okay, so while she's right next to you, what we're doing there is we're socializing her to what's going off to make her feel a bit safe, because often there's a lot of things going off. So when she's on her walk, she's conscious that she's got to walk, but then there's something going off with the traffic, and sometimes just sitting still and watching the world go past is a really nice way that they can actually just take the world in and what's happening, so that it becomes a less scary place, because that she's not going to be close enough to the cars to harm herself or you, but sitting on that bench is going to be a nice place for her to get some association with what's happening. Okay. So any calm behavior gets a piece of food. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably spend about 10 minutes doing that, maybe 15, and then come back.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would put that into your routine as well. So make that kind of a regular thing, that this is what we do. We go to the bench and we sit and we have a nice time on the bench, and then we come home again.
Okay.
And you can play the game where you're throwing the treat out if you want to. If she's showing you that she's that relaxed, you can start playing that game. So she's moving from side to side.
Mabel. Sorry.
Let's go.
There's just someone at the door.
Okay, that's okay, no worries. I was going to say, how's the barking been?
Same kind of thing. It's like she'll bark if someone's at the door, like the postman, or she on the occasion barks and growls at people that walk past the window. But that's about it really.
Okay. So with the window, would you get her down from there? Were you happy to kind of get her down off the arm of the chair so that she's kind of on the seat rather than being able to look out?
Yeah, I keep disencouraging her to get up there, but she goes up there so often, like probably every half an hour. I find it quite hard to get her to come down. But if I tell her to come down, she will come down. But she so badly wants to be up there.
Yeah, okay. And some of that may be like her behavior as well. So when they're looking outside, anything that comes into view, she'll then bark out or get upset with, because she's like, yeah, it's my role and it's my job to look after this house and this window. So if she barks loud enough and for long enough, that person will disappear. So she's going, yeah, I'll take a gold star for that. So it's always worth trying to get her just to come down a little bit, because often if our dogs are behaving that way in the house, they will transfer that outside as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so just worth bearing in mind to try and distract her as much as you can from going up there. Even if she's got a little teepee in the living room, hasn't she?
Yeah, normally.
Yeah. Okay, so it may be that you just ask her to go there instead of being up there. Okay. So we're going to look at Find It, and we're going to do a bit more loose lead walking. So have you got some treats with you?
Yeah.
And are you okay just to clip Mabel onto her lead?
Oh yeah, sure. What's your lead again? Come on. Come on. All right. Okay.
Okay, so remembering that anything that she does that you like, you're going to say yes for, and she's going to get a reward. And Find It is really, really nice and simple. So what you're going to do, is she okay if you hold on to her harness or hold on to her collar?
Yeah, she's fine with that.
Yeah, she's fine with that. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to hold her collar and you're going to put a treat on the floor near her. And then if she pulls towards it, you're just going to wait for a second. And then as you let her go to get that treat, you're just going to say, Find It.
Okay. So I hold on to.
Hold on to her.
Yeah.
It might be easier if you sit on the floor with her.
Okay, and then I drop the treat.
Yeah, so just pop the treat onto the floor. So she sees it, she sees where it lands, and you're still holding on to her. So hold on to her, drop the treat.
Yeah.
And wait till she shows a little bit of interest. And then just say, Find It.
Find it.
And then again.
Find it. Find it. Find it.
She'll be busy in that rug for a while.
Yeah, no, she does after. She spends about half an hour searching for treats.
That's good.
Find it.
Okay, so this time what you're going to do is you're going to keep hold of her collar. So with her collar, if you just clip your fingers underneath the front, because we're not looking to strangle her, and you're going to drop a treat down, but you're going to keep hold of her collar until she looks up at you. Okay, so she's going to look at you and you're going to say, find it, and then let go of her. So she sees the treat, you're holding on to her, wait till she looks at you, and then release and find it.
Find it.
She's like, this is a good game.
Find it.
And is she giving you that eye contact as well?
Yeah, she looks where it's gone, and then she's looking at me and she's kind of trying to pull away to get it.
Brilliant.
Find it.
And what you're doing here is you're saying you can have it, but you've got to look at me first, because
Okay.
ultimately she wants to have that treat, but she needs to look at you and give you that eye contact first. Okay. So this time what you're going to do, you're just going to keep that eye contact for a little bit longer. So I want you to count to 5 in your head and then let her go. So once she's given you the eye contact, count to 5, then let her go and get it.
Find it.
Really nice. Some good focus on her.
Yeah. Mabel. Find it.
And what you're doing here is, I know it looks very obvious and you are obviously putting a treat there, but when she's outside and she does this on the grass, she's going to be like, that word, find it. There's something, there's going to be something here. And that's what we're building up to. So your rug is perfect because it's not, obviously it's not grass, but it's got that same kind of, it's got something that she can dig her nose into.
Yeah.
So we're just going to replicate that when she's outside.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Mabel. 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 Find it. I keep
Nice.
lifting with her. She keeps lifting her front paw up like this
Okay.
when her collar goes on. I can't remember if she did that before or not. I've only just noticed it. I don't know if it means that she's nervous or something.
Yeah, okay. So poor lifting can be a little bit worried. It can be a calming signal as well. So it could be that she's a little bit worried and that's why she's lifting, or it could be that she's trying to calm and that's why she's lifting, or she's a little bit excited and that's why she's lifting. So it could be one of 3 things, which probably isn't the clearest of answers, but ultimately it's one of those 3 things. I'd probably, knowing how she currently is, I'd probably say she's a bit worried, that she's anticipating going out for that walk. She's anticipating kind of something happening. She's not quite worked out what it is that's going to be happening. So yeah, she does a little paw lift, and you might just leave her alone. You might not put that collar and harness onto her. Okay, so with the walk-in today, what we're going to be looking for is nice close walking to you. So it's a slight movement away from, it is still loose lead walking, but we're really looking to get her nice and close to us. And then we're going to do what's called a middle with her, so that she comes round and she comes and sits in between your feet. Okay, so first things first, the loose lead walking. So just going to get you walking normally with her, walking up and down the living room. And then as you turn, I want you to say this way to her so that she's changing direction and you're going a different way. So just literally walking around the living room, and then I'll get you to place your hand in the right place as we're moving around. Okay. So just make sure you've got some treats with you.
Come on in, babes. Mabel, this way. This way. Where are you going?
She's off.
She's not going out. Come on, Mabel. Thanks. Oh, well done. Come on then. This way.
Okay, so when you give her a treat, your hand is going to be at your knee. So when she's nice and close to you, you're going to say yes. So as soon as she's in that kind of position there, you're going to say yes and reward her.
Okay.
So just say yes now and reward her.
Yes.
So she's nice and close to that leg.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So we're almost teaching you a walk to heel, but we're just using the word yes instead of heel.
And do that after she's turned around.
You can do that as soon as she's walking. So as soon as you're walking with her and she's walking alongside you on a nice loose lead, yes, and reward her.
Okay. Come on in. Yes. Come on in. Yes. Come on in. This way. This way. Yes. Yes. Come on in. Yes.
So just a slightly little bit faster with the yes. So as soon as she's in that position, yes, then reward her. So she's slightly going ahead of you. And just keep her alongside you for the time being.
Okay.
Here she comes.
Yes. Come on in. Go on in. Yes. Mabel. Yes. Come on in. This way. Come on. Yes.
Okay, so what's happening here is that she's walking alongside you, which is really nice. She's got a nice loose lead, which is lovely. And when you're saying yes to her, she's actually turning around. So she's turning around away from whatever it is. Obviously, there's nothing in front of her. We're in the house, which is good, which is what you're looking for. And what we're really relying on is that when we say yes, that she acknowledges something is about to happen, even if it's just you saying, good girl, that's fantastic. Or if it's a treat, okay? So you've brought around a little bit there. And what you could then do is have that hand ready to go into the touch with her, okay? So the next bit we're going to look at is, it's called middle, or you can use around, you don't have to use middle. And this is where you see dogs do it, and it's quite fancy. It's usually collie dogs that you'll see doing it, where they'll literally stand between their owner's legs and they're looking up. Okay, so we're going to get Mabel doing that. Okay, and the reason that we're going to get her to do that is because it offers her a bit of security. So if she's a bit worried, this can be her go-to, that she can come round in between your feet, and you know that then she's a bit upset. Okay, so you're going to have treats in both hands. For this, but you might just want to pop the lead onto the floor for the time being, because I don't want to get you tangled up in the lead. And are you right or left-handed?
Right.
You're right-handed. Okay, so what you're going to do it in a second. I'll go through it first and then we'll get you to do it. So you're going to have a treat in your right hand, and your right hand is going to be just behind your right knee. Okay, so behind your knee. And then your left hand, you're going to have a treat in that one as well. And what you're going to do, you're going to guide Mabel round to the back of your leg. As soon as she gets to the back of your knee, you're going to say yes, give her the treat, and then the treat out of your left hand, you're going to put that through between your knees, and you're going to join your hands and guide her from the back of your leg to the front of your feet, okay? And then as soon as the nose comes through, you're going to say yes, give her that treat.
Okay.
Okay, happy with that?
Yeah, I think I get it. Does she go between my legs, not round?
Yeah, she goes around your leg, between your legs, and the end product is her sitting there, but we're not going to go for that straight away. We're just going to go for that literally going around your leg, yes, coming through your legs, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Right. Should I start walking with her?
Just stand still. Just guide her. Just have your right hand guide her around your right leg. You might just need to widen your stance a little bit. So your feet just further apart. So guide around with your right hand. As soon as she gets to your right knee, nice and slowly.
Yes. Yes.
Left hand join your right hand. Here she comes.
Yes. Yes. In all the way
Okay,
through.
so that's fine. She's got a nose through. Give her the reward. That's fine. We can build up to get her all the way through in a sec.
Okay.
So we're just going to repeat it again.
Ready? Yes. Yes. Mabel. Mabel. No, you got the wrong way. This way. Come on in. Yes. Yes. No. Ready? Try again. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. You've got to walk, Mapes. She's just standing still, not walking.
Okay. So nice and slowly. So one treat in each hand.
Yeah.
Just guide. You stand still. Just widen your stance slightly. Guide her so your hand is behind your kneecap. Okay,
Yeah.
here she comes. Yes, reward. Hand through your legs. Can she see that? You might need to bend that right knee.
Yes.
Rewarder. Okay, and go again. And what we're going to do is each time that left hand is just going to move slightly further forward. So until because she's not comfortable coming through your leg, that's why she's not coming through.
Okay.
So we're just going to, the left hand is going to slightly increase each time, but the right hand is still going to do the same thing. So you're still marking her as she gets to the back of your leg. And then as she comes through, you're just going to extend that slightly. So she comes through a little bit further each time.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Can you try this one? Yes. Yes.
Sorry, that's my dog barking.
Yeah. Do you want this? Yes. No. Okay. No.
What treats are you using today?
The same as last week, the Parma ham.
Okay.
Yes.
Much nicer. Here she goes. Nice and slowly. So go steady with the yes. Wait for her to actually move round your leg. Wait for her to come around the back of your leg. If she's slow doing it, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes. Yes. Ready? Yes. Yes. She's
You can see,
thinking about it.
you
I
can see
think.
that she's a little bit further each time. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do now is when she comes round your leg, you're going to mark with her shoulder, so the front legs, as they get to the back of your leg. So your legs are here, so her shoulder's going to come to here. That's when you're going to mark her. Yes, and then she can have that first treat, and then she's already going to be set up to be coming through.
Okay.
Okay. So with your left hand, then you're just going to guide her nice and slowly through your feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take your time.
You're going the wrong way.
She's gone the other way. Guide her back round. Just guide her all the way around. So with the treat, guide her, guide her, guide her.
Come on in. Come on in.
She's like, I'll just have a sniff. I might come back to you in a sec. She's coming back, look. So wait till she's all the way round.
Come on in. Come on, a little bit more.
Tiny bit more. Come on, Mabel, you can do it.
Come on. Come on in. That's it. Come on. Mabel.
There's that paw lift again.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Come on in. Should we try again? Ready?
Why don't we try unclipping her lead off her?
There you go. Ready? Come on in.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh, I forgot. Let's try that
It's
again.
okay. It's okay.
Come on in. Yes. Mabel. Oh, you went
She's
wrong.
like, I'll come round that way this time.
There we go. Ready? Mabel. Come on in. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good girl. Does this make sense what we're doing?
Yeah, it does now. I think maybe she's getting a bit confused because I keep moving my hands as well because I keep getting confused, but now it makes more sense. Mabel?
Keep going. We're going to keep going until she gets all the way through.
Yes. Ah. Try again. Mabel? No, this one.
So if you just move your left hand for the time being, put your left hand behind your back for the time being until she follows that right one.
Yes.
And then bring your left one down.
Yes.
Nice. She'll be palm my hand out.
I know. Right, you ready? Yes. Wrong way.
Okay, so left hand was too far forwards then because you could see it around the other side of your leg.
Okay.
So she was like, right, yeah, well, that's there. I'm going to get that treat and then come around the front.
Ready? Yes.
Nice.
No, no, no.
If you bend your right leg slightly, it'll make it a little bit more easier for her to get round.
Okay. Yes. There you go. There you go.
She's still finding treats in the rug, is she?
I don't think there's any there, but I think she can smell them, like
Okay.
where they've been. Should I try it on the
Yeah, go onto your hard flooring, see if she's any different on there.
Ready? Yes.
Here she comes.
She gets really distracted.
Here she comes.
Yes. Mabel. Yes.
She's getting there.
Is it like a trust thing where they don't go underneath? Or
Yeah, so it's confidence.
okay.
It's confidence that she's like, why am I doing this? This is a bit weird. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Really nice. Okay, so we want her to be at least that far 3 more times before we can then add another one on.
Okay. Mabel. Yes. Mabel. Mabel. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Good girl. Ready? Mabel. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this time when she comes through with your left hand, so as that left hand comes through, I want you to slowly bring it up. Okay, so it makes Mabel go into a sit.
Okay.
Okay, and then she gets the reward. So we're looking for her sitting, facing the same direction as you, between your feet. So you're looking to get her bum in between your feet. And the way that you can do that is as soon as her shoulders come past your legs, so we're in line with your legs, that's when that treat's going to raise up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So just to add a little bit more onto it.
Yes.
Slowly raise up. Yes, and reward.
Yes.
Not gone for the sit that time, but that's fine. We can work on that. Nice position there, though, standing right in between your feet there.
Yeah. Ready? Yes. Yes.
Is she giving you eye contact when she's looking up?
Yeah, she is. Well, I'm assuming she is. I don't know if she's looking at the treat or me,
Okay.
but she is looking at me, I think. Ready? Oh. Yes. Mabel, it's still here. Yes.
Nice. Okay, so this time as she comes round, that left hand, it's just going to go slightly over her head. So it's going to come rather than straight up, we're just going to go a little bit as if you were tucking it into your waistband. Okay, so backwards towards you.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. And I think this kind of shows you how much we need to break stuff down for her
Yeah.
so that she's understanding exactly what it is that we're doing with her.
Yeah, definitely. Ready? Yes. You can manage to get it. Mabel. Come in. Yes.
Nice. Okay, so what I'm going to get you to do is in your own time, I'm going to get you to build up so that she's sitting in between your feet. She knows sit there, doesn't she?
She can do it, yeah. She's not perfect at it though. Like she does it if you have to say it quite harshly for her to do it. And then she normally does do it.
Okay, so would she ever sit down outside? Like if you were on a walk, would she ever sit down?
I've never tried. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, well, we're not going to try. We're going to leave her standing. If she wants to stand, then that's fine. I'm not going to push too much in getting too many different things from her. So that technique you've just done there, what you would start to do is when she's really clearly coming round and she's coming between your feet and she's just quite happy standing there, you would get rid of the treat out of this hand and just guide her round. Okay, so as she's coming round, then you would just say around or middle to indicate what you want her to do. You can still mark her, but there's no treat there this time. And the treat comes out of that left hand that guides her through. Okay,
Yeah.
guiding her through, and then when she's all the way through how you want her, so she's just in front of your legs, and then we're going to get the watch so that she looks up, and all you need to do is really, really nice and slowly. So just hold that tree a little bit longer, stand yourself up, and then give her the reward to start with, and then stand up, and then wait for the watch. Okay, don't push her too much. Take it nice and slow, lots of repetitions, and then she'll get to the point where she's like, all right, I've got this now. So around or middle means I come round your leg and I come in, stand in between your feet. And the reason I want her to do that is because that's going to offer her some security. So if she feels a bit worried when she's outside, middle, get her to get into that position. She can stand in between your feet. Obviously, you will have to practice in the house with the lead in your hand as well. Now, the reason I took her off the lead is because I think that the lead moving with her was making her less willing to actually go round your leg.
Yeah.
Okay, so adding the lead on is going to be a distraction for her. So it's one for practicing in the house to start with until she's really like she's got it, and then take it outside into the quieter area. So near where your other half lives, it's quieter, you get an opportunity to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah.
Does that make sense what we've done today?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. I think she'll get it eventually. I suppose she's never really done anything like that before.
Yeah, and it's technical. It's more of a technical on us to get our hands in the right place, but it shows you how yes works as a marker. So she knows that if she gets so far around your leg, that's when she gets that marker word. So yes, and then when she comes through, when she's in the right position, yes, gets the reward, and then you can just keep building up from that point. Okay, happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, it all makes sense, I think.
Okay, so today we've gone through the find it game, a little bit of loose lead walking,
Yeah.
adding the addition of this way when you're turning so that she knows that you want to go the opposite way or a different way, and middle or around, whichever you want to call it. Some people call it peekaboo. People call it all kinds of things, but ultimately you can call it whatever you want to. And it's that indication. So you might use a pointed finger to the floor. You might just use your hand to show her to come round to you. Okay, happy with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, well, I will send over the recording to you when it's uploaded, and I look forward to seeing your progress. If you do get a couple of minutes, if you can send me over the video with the cars and the co-op, if you've got that, that would be great, so that I can actually see what is happening as well.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that now, actually, otherwise I forget.
Okay, yeah, send that over. I'll get these over to you, so you've got them, and then I look forward to seeing you in the next week or so.
Okay,
But take your time. Take your time. Lots of practice, lots of praise, and I don't have any doubts that you're going to get there.
Okay.
And it's good progress. Good progress that you're making, and I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Bye for now. Bye.